Well, there's some concerning economic news regarding Americans and their car payments. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York says that 7 million Americans are 3 months behind on their auto loan payments. That's more than at the end of 2010 and also in the wake of the financial crisis. Joining us now, Heather Long. She's an economics correspondent for the Washington Post. So, Heather, we've heard these assessments that the economy is relatively strong, but seems to suggest that you've got these cracks in some places. How concerning is this news?
This is another reminder that we're living in a country that's really has three Americas. There's the Jeff Bezos of the world, who are doing incredibly well. There's the bulk of the middle class, which is hanging on, and things are getting better as the unemployment rate goes down and wages continue to grow. But then there's a part of the population where jobs were hard to come by and wages have stagnated for 2 decades. And while things look a little bit better now, many people are still struggling to pay their bills. And that's why we have record numbers of Americans who are on the verge of having their cars repossessed.
3 Americas. It's so interesting to hear you say that. What do we know really about the demographics of these people who are behind on their payments?
The vast majority of them are under age 30, and that's really concerning because if they have this car repossessed now, that's going to be a black mark on their credit report for years to come. So for the next 10 years, if they try to get another car or buy a house or even rent a home, it's going to be very, very difficult for them. So this is going to be a lasting black mark.
You know, in your reporting, you point out that after the financial crisis, there were restrictions that were placed on taking out home loans. Is that the same for car loans as well? Are those regulated?
It's it's so much easier to issue auto loans than it is to issue home loans. And so we're seeing a lot of these, what some may call shady practices in the auto loan market, where people who clearly cannot afford to take a loan out on a vehicle are able to get these loans where they have to pay $500 a month, and they clearly can't make that amount. Car lots are playing around by saying, oh, it's okay, we'll extend it so you can pay it back over 6 or 7 or even 8 years instead of the usual 4 or 5 years on a car loan. All of this is pretty big red flags. It's also really easy for someone to repossess a car. We have all this technology now where you can literally track the car across the country, so it's much easier than trying to take back a home in foreclosure.
It was fascinating. Your reporting caught our attention, and also as we talk about the economy booming, you're seeing these cracks, and so it's fascinating to hear your reporting on car payments. Heather Long, I want to thank you very much for joining us from the Washington Post.
Thank you.